After the Fat Controller heard what happened, he quickly sent Andrea to the works to be checked over before setting back to work. She didn't like it, though she had no choice. Edward came alongside her, decided to give her a warning. You know, Angela, it's a good thing it's only a minor one. A serious one could be fatal consequences. I know that, Edward. I'm here to inform you that the director is giving you 2 warnings. This is your first one. The second one you could break, this is going to be no good for you. You probably could end up like Henry. Who's Henry? Henry is a tender engine, like you and me. Though he's much more bigger than me, but a bit smaller than Gordon. He can be a bit of a warrior. One day, he went into a tunnel, screeched to his funnel, and never came out again. He was afraid of the rain at the time, and then we tried to get him out, but he wouldn't budge. So instead, the director blocked him up in the tunnel until he can be let out again. Oh, that's completely rubbish. There's no way he can do that to me. You won't be sure about it, said a voice from the far side of for where they are. You better take the warning as serious. You don't want to break a second one. Otherwise, you could end up like me. Andrea was shocked, surprised. Who is that? Henry, like I said Edward sternly. Andrea finally understood. Okay, I will behave this time. That's good to hear, said Edward. Andrea was quickly sent back to work after her check. Unfortunately, she had to do most of the goods work. She didn't like it, although she knew she wanted to be really useful. It wasn't long until she's back on passenger runs. The engines suddenly realized that Angela had changed a bit. They were glad, but they still suspicious. As usual, Andrea was very bossy and rude, and began to boast around the other engines. The engines were getting tired of this, including Gordon. I say, I thought we could trust her, but now we've been mistrust. Yes, look, she's more badder than you. Oh, thanks for that, Atlas. Needless to say, everyone, said Edward, it's better to keep our distance from her. And everyone agreed. Nearly the end of the month since Angela arrived on the island, Gordon went to Knapford for his train, but didn't see his coaches at the platform. Thomas, where are my coaches? Oh, they're still in the siding. I don't have time to collect it. You've got to take it for yourself. Oh, alright, just this once. Oh, by the way, what train you're arranging? Angela's goods train. Oh, great. She thinks she's more important than me. Yes, I already know that, Gordon. Gordon went to the coach yard to collect his express coaches. Unfortunately, Angela was at the shed nearby and saw him collecting his own coaches. What are you doing? Getting my own coaches. You know tender engines don't fetch their own coaches. I know that, Angela. But I only do it just for once. Thomas is very busy at the moment getting your train. That tank engine needs to work much more harder. We tender engines are more important than him. Gordon had enough of Angela's words. Alright, listen here. You may be young, but I have more experience with that little tank engine. He knows what he's doing. Besides, you won't even understand. I beg your pardon? Alright, enough, both of you, said Edward, who came in. Gordon, your passengers are waiting. Gordon said nothing as he went off. Edward gave a glance at Angela, and he went off too. The next day, Angela is taking trucks again. She was so angry and bumped the trucks hard. They were old and empty. Oi, said the trucks. Why would you do that, bumping us about? Come on, I don't have time for your excuses. Let's go. And she raced off. The trucks did not like her behavior, not one bit, and Angela didn't even care. To make matters worse, she began to exaggerate to the trucks. Why do I have to pull dirty trucks? After all, Atlas is better at pulling dirty trucks. He's small and dirty, and he's much more suitable for pulling you. The trucks were taken aback. They never received that kind of reaction before. But they like Atlas, and an insult on him had put them in the final straw, and they began to make a plan to pay back at her. And this time, it would really bring her down. Soon Angela reached Gordon's Hill. She knew she had to keep an eye on the trucks, but because she was so cross, she didn't even care about it. As she began to ascend, the trucks began to hold her back and began to struggle. She could feel the coupling tightened. She gave all her effort until she would reach the top of the hill. At last, she did. Hooray! I did it! Now it will be much more easier going down. But she said too soon. This gave the trucks their momentum chance. Go faster! Go faster! They shouted to one another and they pushed her down the hill, and unfortunately knocking the crew off the footplate in the process. Oh no! Oh no! Stop! 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 She cried. You want us to hurry up? Look! Now you got your chance! Not what I want! She cried. She reached the bottom and came off of the bend at a high speed. The driver and fireman raced down to the bottom of the hill. You could see the guard had jumped clear, and Angela lay dazed in surprise in a wreck of trucks. It was over an hour before the rescue gang arrived and lifted Andrea back onto the rails. The director wasn't very happy with Angela. I can't even believe what I just heard. You completely disappointed me. I'm sorry, sir, said Angela. Please give me another chance. You already have a second chance. I'm afraid you wasted it. I will send you back to the mainland soon. In the meantime, I will lock you up in the shed, because you assaulted my engines and you completely caused disruption, confusion, and bad atmosphere to my railway. Thomas will shunt you into a shed until I'm ready to send you back. And so I shunted Andrea at the back of the shed and left her there. And then the director makes some changes to the time tool so that way the workload can smoothen between the remaining engines. Until one day Gordon broke his safety valve and then, the rest is history. Then what happened to Angela after that? She was sent back afterwards, and we never heard of her again. Good riddance for her. What about Atlas? Surely that he wasn't scrapped around the time of the Great Depression began. The three engines look at each other. We don't know what happened to him. He was still there at the time. Oh wait, I remember what happened to him. He was bought by a railway that started Harwich to a mine area. Really? But I never heard of it. Oh yes, that was a private property area. I think he was new to replacing a team of horses. Really? Indeed. There's still the remains of it in the hills. Charlie had thought, interesting. You know what? Finding about the remains of the original Harwich line is really more interesting than the story you told me. I think I should do a documentary on it. Well, that is a brilliant idea, said Gordon. I agree, said the Fat Controller. Thank you, you three. And with that, the Fat Controller and Charlie Hat went off. As the two of them walked off, Charlie Hat was really excited and was looking forward for his adventure up in the hills of the old Harwich line. The Fat Controller knew that it was possible that Atlas could be there. But that's another story.